So I wasn't planning on filming a video today, but I looked at the weather, and the weather says blue skies here in Lagos, but there's also an alert for like a weather anomaly. It says coastal warnings or something like that. It says there's going to be 5-meter swells on the west coast right now. Perfect for the lighthouse in Sagres that we were last time. So I think that's where we're going to go. The weatherman says to avoid it. I say big waves might be really cool to photograph. So on the way there, I want to let you guys know as well that this video is sponsored by squarespace.com. If you're looking for a place to start a travel photography blog or portfolio, Squarespace is a really good spot to start. There's lots of really good blogging tools with a lot of cool features like geotagging, simultaneously posting to your social media, and really clever templates to make portfolios or galleries look really good, really easy. So whether you're looking to sell images or just have a really cool place to show them off, Squarespace is an awesome place to do that. So head to squarespace.com/BrendanVanson and you'll get a little bit of a discount on your first purchase. What's Monkey doing?
Oh, just working hard.
Hey Monkey, come chase the camera. Whoa! Bye Monkey, give me 5. Give me 5. Fine. Love you too. Man, Simba's getting messy. Starting to remind me a little bit of my Opa's farm truck when I was growing up. It's a little bit dusty, but still pretty cool. Yeah, I got 2 hours until sunset. So on my way to the lighthouse, I've stopped at Praia Beliche because it's, yeah, the waves are crazy. The swell, like I said, was supposed to be 5 meters. It definitely doesn't feel like that, but there are some crazy, beautiful waves here. Some barrels. Like if you're a surfer, this is just gold right here. I think I'm not a good surfer, so I'm just assuming, but it looks crazy. Like absolutely, dude just caught about 5 feet of air off a wave. So I gotta get on this cliff edge and get out the long lens and try to get some footage or photos of this, because this is crazy. Yeah, this is just straight crazy, but it's also really hard to show you guys how big everything is from up here. There are, yeah, a bunch of surfers in the water. The waves are taller than they are by quite a bit, and yeah, there's some really, really beautiful waves. I think also there's a beautiful backdrop with these cliffs. So I'm changing my video. I'm no longer gonna photograph the lighthouse. Instead, I'm gonna photograph the surfers because this is just way, way too cool. Okay, I'm gonna head down to the beach because it's just impossible to get the perspective from up here. You don't really see how big the waves are. There's nothing in the background. So I'm gonna hike down. I feel definitely overdressed for this. So by no stretch of the imagination am I a surf photographer or even a sports photographer, but at least my style when it comes to this type of photo is that I want to incorporate the surfer with the environment. I don't really particularly like photos of just surfers or just basketball players or just athletes or just people in general. Yep, I think the swell's gonna get me. But what I do love are shots of surfers with huge backdrops that are absolutely epic. The images that guys like, whoa! The images that guys like Chris Burkhardt get, they're not epic because of the surfer. That's not fair. They're epic because the surfer's willing to put themselves in crazy locations. And then as a photographer, I think that the whole trick to this type of photo is a really long lens and being way far away from your subject. Doing that compresses everything and it makes everything look bigger. It makes the background look right on top of the surfer and it adds scale to the image. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to add scale to the image to show you guys and the viewer of the photograph how big the waves are and how big the cliffs are. So it's gonna take some patience, but eventually I think it'll work. So technically, man, it's so sunny. I can't believe I came out in jeans and a winter jacket. Technically, I wouldn't say it's complicated, but it is a challenge. It's, I think, even more challenging than wildlife photography. I set everything on manual because your camera's gonna be fooled if there's a black background, then all of a sudden blue seas and then a white sky. So I set it in manual. I have ISO 800 and 1/1600th of a second because I want it to be sharp. ISO 800 will be totally fine. 1/1600th is probably it's probably fast enough for sharp images, even at 400 millimeters. That's 400 times 4. So that should do the trick. And then, yeah, basically everything's set to manual. And then I'm actually even manually focusing. What I'm doing is I'm pre-focusing in front of the scene I want the photo. The point of area focusing is to just remove one mistake that the camera can make, if that makes sense. If you go into autofocus and you're focusing on a certain shot and you focus and you get this perfect shot and it focuses on a wave in the foreground, it ruins everything. So I area focus on this stuff and man, as I'm talking, just the best waves just came out. That happens all the time. So I haven't gotten a single photo. Okay, I want to jump into the middle of this video really quick because I'm editing the photos. And this whole episode, I basically talk about how I don't get a single photo the whole time I'm out. I complain and complain and complain ad nauseum about my lack of an ability to get a photo. But now I'm in the editing suite and I'm finding photos that I don't just like, but absolutely love. And the crazy thing is, they're not the photos I thought that I was gonna like. It's hard when you're out in the field and it's bright and things are moving really quick and you're taking 1,000 photos. I think I took 1,000 photos. You don't know if there's 3 or 4 good ones, and it's easy to get discouraged about the 997 bad ones, but the 3 good ones make it so worth it. So I'm gonna go back to the field and continue complaining, but just know that I'm not sad. I'm very happy with the way things turned out. I think the swell actually dropped quite a bit. There's not the same crazy waves there was when I first got here. And the surfers have seemed to have moved. So I'm gonna move to the other side of this beach. If you're just coming to hang out, this beach is amazing as well. You've got these 2 coves, tons of sand. Yeah, it's awesome here. So yeah, I'm gonna move and hopefully get a photo because I still don't have one. This is so hard. I think this is the hardest time I've ever had doing photography. It's just a matter of finding the right surfer, the right wave. Oh my God, every time I do this, I'm gonna cry. Every time I film, it's the moment that I've been waiting for. Every time, and I'm sitting here now over an hour waiting for these moments. But you have to time the right wave, the right surfer, the right background. Everything just needs to go perfect, and I have no control over it. And as a control freak, it's so freaking hard. I have about 50 half photos of people almost catching a wave, and of a good surf shot without a background, or of somebody falling just before I get the shot. Yeah, it's really, really hard. Two hours in now, and I still don't have a photo. Just wanted to update you on how it's going. Still nothing, and every now and then the seas just jump like crazy. Like I just saw a wave hit the wall out there and go 3/4 the way up, and I'm regretting not going to where I was going, but at the same time not really that bothered because it's blue skies and I'm having fun. The other thing that's really hard about this is to accentuate the depth of field, you really need to be low. So I'm like squished down like this, trying to shoot through the viewfinder, but then when my legs are too tired, I'll stand up, put it on live view, and then shoot through live view standing up. It's hard. It's really hard. And I'm exhausted just from taking pictures stood in one spot. I think I finally got one. I just kind of have my camera set up on exactly the frame I want, and I've decided to stop fighting. If somebody enters that frame, I'm gonna fire the photo. If not, I'm just gonna stand here and watch the surfers and have fun. And I think it worked. The surfer's really in the bottom of the frame, but I think it worked. It helped show the scale. And you're gonna notice in the photo, I've cut off the top of the cliff. This is like a little bit of a trick that James Popsis taught me when we were in the Lofoten Islands last year. In that if you photograph the top of the cliff, everybody knows how tall the cliff is. But if you cut off the top of the cliff, it leads a lot to the imagination of people. They have to think, how tall is that cliff? That cliff's massive, I can't even see the top. So leave a little bit of something to the imagination of the viewer when you take shots like this. The other thing is, don't be afraid to go a little bit wider than you think you need to be, because you can always crop in. You can't always crop out. It's not a mind-blowingly great photo, but it's a photo, and here comes another one. Stay on this wave. Stay on it. Get into my frame. Now, damn, nice surf though. Dudes here can surf. Before I finally give up on my life as a photographer, I think I'm gonna try one more thing. I wanna try doing some panning shots. It's dark, but there's still surfers out there. And there's some really nice color in the sky, some pastel colors in the sky. And I think with like a 1/20th exposure or 1/10th of exposure, if I can motion blur with them at the same time, I should maybe be able to get a cool photo. I don't know if it's gonna work, and I'm willing to try anything at this point. Yeah, one of those days. I literally just decided to give up on the surf photography and just mess around with like a slower exposure to see what the waves would look like slightly out of focus. And the surfer went exactly in my frame, in the perfect shot, in the perfect moment, with the perfect wave and the perfect composition. Everything's perfect about this photo except for it's out of focus. Because it's a slow exposure, and that's just how today's episode went. But from a life perspective, it's been amazing just being on the beach in a t-shirt at the end of October. It's just such a blessing. This was really, really hard. If you think you're good at photography, go try to do surf photography. It's hard. This was hard. And yeah, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.